Welcome back. This is the 6th edition of the Conversations at the Kaya. My name is Elizabeth Oro and I'm joined by...
My name is Lily Rono. I'm Head of Marketing at Ignis Innovation.
And I'm Head of Commercial at Ignis Innovation. Now, today we are very much excited because we have received our we call it V2?
Yes, V2.
This is our V2 of the electric pressure cooker, and very soon we'll be seeing much more about this product, and we'll be telling you how it can be of benefit to you. But Lily, how do you feel just seeing the product here?
I'm so happy because the day I first reported at Ignis, you just come from testing the V1.
Yes.
And you guys were so disappointed. It was a similar product to what is already in the market.
Yeah,
and I know for us at Ignis, one of the things that we're very particular about is that we're not just introducing just another electric pressure cooker in the market, just another induction cooker in the market. So when this came, number one, we really loved how it looks.
Yeah, sure.
We loved the display. It has more
preset
buttons of what we can cook. And then one of the things that we're really big about is the stainless steel.
Certainly
Steel, because many of the places that these EPCs will be used, the water is salty.
Certainly.
And I'm sure you've seen people complaining about, especially the water showers, the electric ones, getting burnt because of the salt aspect. So we really wanted an EPC it's made with stainless steel in most of the places, including and most importantly
the pots.
Yeah, so when this came, and we were so excited first with the outlook, and then now we started using it, and it just went on ticking the boxes,
Sure.
until we were like, now this is what we want to send to the market.
Totally agree.
Yeah, how about you, Liz? Considering you're the core team that was coming up. Oh my God. Yeah.
This is so fulfilling. It's been months and months of designing, redesigning, and just coming up with a product that is going to be safe for the market, fit for our market, and also affordable, because those are some of the things that we are considering as we were developing this electric pressure cooker. Safe to say that as an innovation organization, we will be testing this with a few people as well and trying to get feedback. So we may not fully say that this is our final product, but as is, it's adaptable, and it's something that we can use safely in our homes. But we'll be getting feedback from our end users and just trying to see if there is any other thing that you'd like us to rework or work on, even as we plan to roll out in the markets. But I feel so fulfilled.
Yeah.
I feel so excited, and I can't wait to bring this into most of our homes. As you're watching us, very soon we'll want to see this in your kitchens.
Yeah, for sure. And it's interesting, Liz, that this is coming in the backdrop of International Women's Month.
Oh yes,
that's coming up. And for you, I know nowadays we have also men who cook.
Oh, sure they do.
And I think in one of the things that we've been pushing is that how this is also convenient for men. But speaking about women, how do you see this fitting into the larger conversation of International Women's Month?
Well, how I'm looking at it is that the one factor that is essential for any human being is time. And the one thing that I think has been overlooked over time is time for women, because most of our time is spent giving. We give our time to our children, we give our time to our spouses, we give our time to our jobs, but then we lack the time to give back to ourselves. And most often we have our cups running dry. And that is why you'd find maybe most women have sicknesses or other diseases, or autoimmune diseases are largely associated with women. If it's stress levels, if it's anything that is mental, women would largely be associated with that. And that is because most often we pour out, but we don't have time to pour back to ourselves. And I feel like just coming up with innovations of this kind, I'm looking at back when we were growing up, and in the days where cooking would be such a task. It is still a task.
For many women.
Yes, it is still a task. And looking at the kind of metrics that we have in the market and research that has been done, even in terms of this kind of innovation, the penetration in the market is at 3%. So if we have only penetrated the market with 3%,
Yeah.
that means that there are so many more women who are still struggling because of cooking, and they have to invest a lot of their time, a lot of their money. They have to expose their health so much
Yeah.
because they have to cook for their families. And just seeing this, I think for me, at such a time when we'll be celebrating a woman, I think it is an innovation that comes in handy. Number one, to save our time and to help us also build, or rather give back to ourselves and try to consider ourselves as people who need to rest.
Yep.
One thing that I think in the longest period of time, I know women are not supposed to rest. In the African culture, basically, a woman
simply no time for rest.
Yes, it's actually you are not supposed to rest because you're a woman, and I think most quotation is also made in the Bible, where they'll say a woman, a good woman wakes up at 5. What is the scripture? Proverbs 31 woman.
Yeah.
You wake up at 5 in the morning when your family wakes up.
Yeah.
You've already made tea.
Yeah.
The house is clean and all that. And you see that at the end of the day, when this woman is going back to bed, the kids are already in bed.
Yeah.
You're done doing dishes. You're done doing your kitchen. Your husband is already in bed. And that's when now you have time for yourself. By the time you get to bed, you just want to rest because you're already fatigued.
sure, yeah.
So I feel like this is going to sort of compress time that we spend so much in the kitchen and be able to spend some time just for us. Can I go to the salon? Can I go to the nail spa? Can I do something on my
Can to hang around with my
Yes,
friend.
can I be with my girls and just be me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I look at the EPC.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, Liz. So for me, growing up, largely we used firewood.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we used firewood because number one, my mom had fears with using gas
Oh, nice. Okay.
because of the explosions and water.
And there are
so it
many
came
important
from her. It
places.
came from a place of love, and of course, the issue of culture. Like she grew up using firewood, so it was easy for her to transition into that. But as a young woman growing up in an era where I would see my friends using gas, and I was like, why wouldn't we also use gas? And then the other thing that really used to bother me is washing clothes. And being there's that association of being a fast girl in a homestead. There's a lot.
I don't relate.
You don't relate because, but your sister will definitely tell you that they are the set of responsibilities that comes with being a first daughter.
Okay.
And for me, it meant washing clothes. I'm the one who is cooking. I'm the one who's doing the dishes. You know, that
Basically
kind of thing.
responsibility.
At that time, my brothers are playing, my brothers are studying. And at the end of it, all of us are expected to perform the same as my brothers.
Your siblings,
Yeah,
yes,
my brothers. So growing up and understanding that there are appliances that women can have in their homes to free up their time for them to do the things that they enjoy doing, I think for me that was so huge. And one of the things I used to tell my mom is the moment I leave home, I'm never going to use firewood because I think I've done my share. And then, of course, then we were not even thinking about the health implications of the firewood.
Certainly.
Yeah, for me, it was just so much work going to look for firewood. When you're walking from home to school, along the path you went collecting small sticks that you're able to use that to light the fire. Because again, that's something else. Lighting the fire in itself is a whole sort of work and what have you. But I think such appliances, and for me, even when I started working, when I was not able to purchase then, these are things that I saved up for.
Sure.
Yeah, so when I would save up for the pressure cooker, I would save up for the washing machine. And now I know there are robots that wash houses. And even as I have a nanny at home, these are the things I don't restrict her from using these things, because I also understand she's a woman, that she's also a human being. She needs her time to rest. Before she would use around 3 hours washing clothes.
Yes.
Now she just wakes up, throws the clothes in the machine, and now she can do other things in the house that are not as intensive. Initially I used to use charcoal to boil. And in these times, for example, when it's raining, should have to light it closer to the house so the smoke would go in. It could take her longer to do that. And then once you place the giveri on the jiko, you have to keep replacing the charcoal every 30 minutes.
Filling up, yeah. True.
So for me, it's all women. And the other thing I really like about what we are designing for women as Ignis is that we are trying to ensure that this is as affordable as possible.
True.
And exploring many other ways that even if you don't have that money up front, you'll still be able
to purchase
this.
Certainly, 100%.
Yep.
Now, Lily, considering, I love the fact that you brought up the nanny aspect.
Yes.
Because I think if you look at our time and probably our parents' time, times have really changed.
For sure.
And most women have grown to be in the corporate space or just in the space where they're able to also make money and support their families. Are different from when maybe our mother's time and most of our moms were home. Not that 100%, but a large percentage represented were housewives and just raising their families. Right now, we have a lot of women who've transitioned to just in the space where they are also considered as bringing money into their homes. And I think most women have chosen the path of having nannies and probably some sort of support system to help them run their homes. Now, I had you talk about allowing your nanny to use this. How does that sit with the nanny now? Do you feel like that makes any impact? Is it giving any change? Do these nannies have families? Are they able, I mean, how do you see that transforming for them?
Yeah. So, I'm in these mom groups in Facebook, and you find, and even nowadays when someone is calling you, one of the things they'd ask you, do you have a washing machine? I know. That's a thing now. People ask.
It is.
And they like that they're empowered to such level to know that there are machines out here that can do the hard work while they focus on looking after the children, ensuring the house is clean, cooking meals varied, not every day, maybe a similar type of food because you do not have time to prepare for the meals. For my nanny, number one, when we first brought it, she was very scared. Scared because there's a lot of misconceptions about EPCs, and rightly so, because the traditional EPC, the way the steam would come out was very crazy. But for this one, there's a lot of control. So I had to do a lot of, number one, awareness about how she can use this and how this is different from the traditional EPCs one. And number two, a lot of training as well. So that's the other thing. You just don't give someone and they figure their way around it. And I like that this is already in our plan as Ignis.
Yes.
That even as we are sending this out, it will be accompanied by a lot of awareness creation on utilization. And speaking of which, Liz, I know when you're creating this, one of the things you're very particular about, that this is not just going to boil githeri and crochet and doma. So maybe you can tell us more about that.
Yeah, and I know for the longest time, even when the traditional pressure cooker was being developed, it was to help sort of compress time in terms of the time we'd naturally use to boil, say, beans or githeri. And so other than the saute function and all the preset functions that we've been able to factor in when developing this solution, because if you see, Lily, we have the rice function. One thing I like about the rice function that I think we probably have not really emphasized on is that when you're cooking rice, and I know most of the places, or rather most of places we come from in Nairobi, we buy water to drink. And it's quite costly. So you look at the balance of 1 cup to 2. When you're measuring water for rice, it's 1 to 2. But when you're using the electric pressure cooker, it's 1 to 1. So there's some savings that goes in there that you would otherwise have to drink that water, other than if you were to spend it on buying another bottle of water. And we have other functions like the cake function. So there are people, I have seen a lot of videos and tutorials around using charcoal for baking. This is a safer method, and of course we'll be showing ourselves how to do that as you watch us. And of course there's a yogurt function, and I know this is very I know. And so when we're talking about freeing up time for women, freeing up time would also require that you have some money in your hands. So true. Other than how can we also get some money out of what we spend that can be preserved from the use of our EPC. We buy yogurt and it's very expensive. When you use this, you are able to get about 6 liters of yogurt, and it's very affordable because all you need to buy is milk. Milk and the flavors. Which when you buy one flavor, you can use it almost 10 times. You understand? So it's not a recurrent cost. It's not a recurrent cost. At the end of the day, your family is taken care of. And even as a woman, yogurt is important. But I believe that most women don't take yogurt because of the cost implication. So when you have this, that is also taken care of. Now, other than the functions that we have here, another thing that we've been able to design as innovators is the reality that most often when we are cooking, and I think I saw this with my mom when I was a bit younger, when you'll be boiling beans or githeri, there'll be another pot on top of the beans or githeri with water, so that at that particular time she won't have to light the jiko to heat water for us to bathe with, but that which has heat from the steam cooking, whatever food it is that she's cooking, is what you're able to bathe with. And so we've just taken, we recognize that these are things that women do because of creativity and to be able to save time and also save energy. So we're just taking that innovation that has been there by our moms and transferring it now to what is practical to our days. And this is what we call a steamer. Now a steamer is going to be very useful in our cooking. So I want to take for example, if you are boiling eggs, imagine you just put eggs there and you lock the EPC and you're done cooking. But then there would have been another option. Maybe you have ngwashe.
Put it on top.
Yes, maybe you have ndoma. So you can slice those ones and then just sort of spread them here. And they're going to cook at the same time. With the same time your eggs is cooking for. Another thing is that you could just be cooking ngwashe. So you could do ngwashe and ndoma at the same time. Because our pot is a bit deep. You can always have whatever it is that you want inside there. This is a 6-liter pot. So you can always have whatever it is you want at the very bottom. And then there is something here like a dent. It's sort of dented, but I mean, it's important because we need this steamer to be held in there so that when you put it there, it sits in comfortably and you're able to spread whatever it is that you may want to cook on that particular space. Now realize that you'll have killed 2 birds
with one stone.
Yes. So you have saved on time, you have saved on energy, and you have 2 variety of meals. Now I know one thing that probably we've not shown our end users is that our pots are always 2.
Yes.
So again, I know there is an aspect where you want to cook one particular, maybe you're doing rice and you want to saute. So when you're done with the rice, you can just put the pot aside, then have another pot through which you can do your saute. So those are some of the things that we factored in to help our women get into the space where you are able to free up some time so then you can focus on yourself. And maybe even as you're looking at this, Lily, I'm curious. We are freeing time for women. So we've freed up time for you. And I remember you talking about washing machine. And I think those are very important things. You have an electric pressure cooker, you have an air fryer, and all these technology and solutions that you have in the space. Now you have the time. And I know most of us, I think I've seen, I was watching something that someone was saying, they don't know how to be anything else other than a mom. Sadly. And it happens to most of us that you realize when your children have gone to school, then now you are stuck with yourself. You even don't know what to do with yourself. So now you've freed up your time. How does that look like for you, and how is that important for a woman?
So before I respond to your question, Liz, I'd like just to go to something small about the especially this Ignis pressure cooker.
Sure.
And one of the even you at home, even when you're using, whether you're using the charcoal or the LPG, you have sufurias that this is meant for making tea.
Oh, certainly.
This is meant for stews. This is meant for ugali.
It is actually so strict in my mother's house. That this is ugali. This is a sufuria for ugali. There's no you're mixing it up. This one is strictly for tea. You can't be found cooking rice in it.
And the reason being, if you make, say, you make a stew using this EPC, then, and as we've seen, you can also use the EPC to make tea. You're going to show one of these days. And then after making the steam, then you come back here and make your tea. There's a high likelihood that's going to absorb the taste from the stew. So you're drinking your tea and you're like, there's a taste that I'm... and you can even ask, kwani kuna kitunguu iliingia kwa maji or something of the sort. Yes. So that's number one. That's why we're having 2 pots, so that you can decide that this is strictly going to be for stews, this is going to be for tea and what have you, and rice. But then the other thing about a stainless steel pot, and I know this is something we're very huge on when we're creating this, like the bare minimum, the pot had to be a stainless steel one.
Agreed.
Because this does not retain flavors. They were an aluminum pot.
It doesn't flake. And I think that flaking is also important when it comes to health matters. And I think most of us are not conscious of it. But I know as we'll be creating content, we'll try to bring that to light and how that can affect you as a human being.
For sure. So going back to the question about now that
You have time.
Yes. So for me, I think having given my background, childhood background, and the way that for me it was always after I've woken up, I've made tea, I've washed the house, I've washed utensils. I felt like my life was revolving around one kind of thing. So even as I grew up, even I was being taken to school and I started reimagining my life, I knew that this is not going to be the cycle that I'm going to be in. So for me, I'm very keen on if there's a task that I can offload, or if I can hire someone to do something, I'll gladly do it. But now I have time beyond work for me to do things that I love. One of the things that I really like is walking.
Oh, yes.
I love walking.
I can attest to that.
Yes. So even sometimes when I'm just sitting in the house and right now like it's raining, I'd go to YouTube and put those walking exercise because for me, walking tends to calm me down.
It's actually therapeutical.
It's very therapeutic. And we've gone walks with you.
Yeah, we do take walks around.
And every time we come back, we're like, Lynn, thank you so much for that, because that is what it does to you. So
Yeah.
you're not always like a pressure cooker, like so much pressure inside.
Yeah.
When you walk, you get to exhale, and whatever, it doesn't matter. It could be walking, it could be watching TV, it could be just
Oh, I love watching TV
and meditating.
Yes.
So just having that moment to exhale and not walking like just like a balloon waiting to be pricked and you
explode.
and you explode. So for me, just finding time to do the things that I love. I'm a very social person. I love.
Oh, I can attest to that.
Yes, I love people. I love spending time with people. So when I get time, I get.
When you free up your time.
When I free up my time, now I have time to spend time with friends and just to fill my cup. That when I'm going back home, my cup is full and now I can be able to offload. When I come to work, I'm coming to work with a cup that is full, and I'm able to work better. I'm able to relate better with my colleagues, because I have had time to just rest and do things that I love, which I think is very important.
How important is rest, Lily?
Very important. The other thing that I really value is my sleep. And I hate going to bed with my whole body aching because I was bending over lighting a charcoal. I hate going to bed smelling of smoke. You know, you've entered bed, you've covered yourself, and then you're like, oh, I know I've showered, but just before I went to bed, I had to light something on the jiko. Now I'm smelling charcoal, you know? And those are the realities that many women live with. That yes, you've showered, you're clean, but before you go to bed, you had to mix up using firewood. And of course, there's the aspect of smoke. The good thing with the EPCs, you make this while you're standing. You can even cook while you're seated. That's the other advantage. So I value my sleep. So having also time to just sleep. I think the other thing that I really love, I don't know whether so many people know this, but I love watching movies, especially comedy.
Okay.
Yeah. So women just finding time to do things that they love, that fill them up, things that don't feel like a chore. Like, even spending time with your kids, you know. Most oftentimes, because you're cooking and there's a lot of smoke, your kids will not want to be with you in the kitchen. And you can imagine when you were growing up, our moms would be in the kitchen cooking, and us maybe would be playing outside or doing something.
Studying.
But imagine staying in a kitchen. And I see that now with my kids and my nanny, because my nanny is working in a smokeless environment. My kids now, they find even them doing homework in the kitchen.
They're intentional about even learning some of those things.
Yes, and then now that takes them away again now from the TV, and they can now build these other relationships that is going to really help them as they grow up.
Wow.
What does rest look like for you, Liz?
Stress.
Like rest.
Rest.
Yeah.
I think for me, rest is just being able to release every kind of build up that sort of thinkers bad attitude, anger, because when you're stressed, you're also angry. And you see, when you're angry, it's anyone and everyone that is around you that's going to experience that. And I think for me, rest would look like me being able to give myself to the people I need to give myself to without holding back. When you're not well rested, you hold yourself back because you're not your happy self. You are not your relaxed self, and your cup is not full. And when you have an empty cup, you certainly can never pour out as you should pour out. So for me, rest looks like when I am done with work in the office, I want to be done with work. And I want to get home and be able to relax.
Yeah.
And there is one thing that I remember, a friend of mine that became a mom before I did, told me as I was getting into the journey of motherhood. And she told me something. You have an office you go to.
Yeah.
Your home is someone else's office. Separate the two.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you stop being a mom or a wife in your home. You need to still take your duties. However, delegation is very important. So if you're able to delegate and have someone else help you with certain chores, I think it is very important. And like you said, most of our homes are now becoming smart.
Yeah.
So as you are making your home smart, and I think we need to be intentional about this, some of these solutions may not be affordable upfront, but we can begin to have savings and even look at some of the ways our moms have done their things. And I remember my mom having been able to be in the different chamas and just get yourself developed through those particular systems. So can we come together? Can we say that there is merry-go-round that I know women have done so much? This time, let's buy Lily an electric pressure cooker in our circle. And then the next time, Liz will take an electric pressure cooker, and then everyone else has it. And then the next time I know we are buying our washing machine, we go around again in the circle. But just to answer you well, for me, rest again would mean that I also have time to spend with my friends, to just go out and hang out and get lost and just be me. And finding time to spend with God. I love spending time with God. Just being in a space where I can go to church. I sing in church, so I also love being in that space. If I don't get time to do that, then again, I feel a bit, I think that week just feels a bit...
You're not living your life.
Really, I feel like I'm a bit confined. So I want to free up my space to be able to know that at the end of the day, I'm able to achieve those things that are not necessarily so work related, so home related, but so me. Fulfilling, knowing that I was able to hang out with Lily. We walked, we spent some time, we had a conversation, we encouraged each other. I think for me, that is what I would want to look at, to see it as rest, that I have time for me.
And it means even as Ignis grows, I know right now we're introducing our electric pressure cookers to the market, as well as the induction.
Yes, induction cookers. We actually need to do very. We need to have a conversation around induction cooker.
Probably, I think in the next few episodes, one of it will just be on the induction cooker and why it matters.
Agreed.
Yeah. So I think the larger picture for Ignis is to bring these smart appliances.
Yes, sure.
To Kenyan homes. We may design here, maybe it will be produced somewhere else, but with the intention to free up women's time, men's time, whoever is in the home, so that each and every person can live a fulfilled and dignified life.
Yes. Yeah. And I think one thing that is also very important that probably we overlook, most of the time when our women are in the kitchen, we end up having our families, how do I put it? Like we are not, we don't feel like a puzzle that is complete. Because most often it's your husband, probably with the kids, or your husband also gets themselves busy now because my wife is cooking, the kids are studying, what do I do? When we free up time, we also try to bring families together. Which is also a very important puzzle that I think over the years has been overlooked. And if you look at most marriages, the strain comes because of the lack of time for the spouses to spend, to bond and just be together. So when you're able to free up your time and use your time in a manner that can actually be, you can actually say that, yes, I spent my time cooking, but as I was cooking, I was also spending time with my kids. I was also spending time with my husband. And I know of a scenario where there's a parent who was called to school and they were told about a behavior of their child and they just couldn't relate because they didn't notice it. It's a behavior that came, and because you don't spend time with your children, that's likely.
Someone tells you about your child, you're like, no, that cannot be my child.
And they actually your child. That's your child. But because we do not get that time to spend time with them, ask them. And I want to ask women out here, how many of us by the end of the day know who our children's friends are? if you are to be asked who's your child's best friend, I keep asking my daughter who's your best friend, and the names keeps changing. So we are trying to understand what is a best friend.
Yeah.
But most of us parents do not know. And I know one of those times we were having these parents teachers meetings, and one of the teacher was telling us that some of you parents have never even signed your children's diary. And you see, it goes back to the factor that is time. And it's very important. So I believe that even as you're growing, and even as Ignis, as we are bringing smart appliances to our homes, our intention is very clear that we want everyone to be able to experience wholesomeness in every area of life. When you're cooking, you're experiencing wholesomeness. Because with this, we are talking smokeless kitchens, when we are talking time-saving solutions, we are talking energy-saving solutions. When you're talking about wholesomeness, you're talking about your health. When you're talking about wholesomeness, we are looking at how then we are able to free up time for you to spend time with your friends, spend time with your family, with your partner, which is also very important, because most of the time, if you're not okay at home, you cannot be okay outside.
For sure.
And you will not function.
Yeah. And I think that that's very a high note just to, I think, end this episode.
Yeah, sure.
And just to let people watching that we are going to have this conversation. We're going to invite people just during this month. We're going to bring in experts. Just share with us how important it is for women to create time to rest.
And I think it should also be important, maybe Lily, if you have someone in mind that you think would be good for a conversation around how do you juggle being a mom, being a wife, being an entrepreneur, working, and all those things. How do you make that balance? How is it relatable to you? If you have people you think would add value to that conversation, would really appreciate. But I know in this month where we'll be celebrating women, we'll be having a lot of these, and maybe even go live and try to get some of your feedback and probably your thoughts on what it is that you're doing as a woman that you believe is giving, but you are getting something filled up in your life.
Okay, thank you so much, Luz. It was awesome talking to you.
Certainly.
We'll definitely do this again one of these days.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. Bye.